Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very late After Dark. I'm, of course, your host, Matty G. We are live right here on TMG Entertainment. I'm just going to not screw around tonight. I'm going to introduce everybody. Start with Mandalorians.
Hey, this is the way.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we're not screwing around tonight. We're just here to have fun. You know, we'll talk about some stuff. Maybe talk about some movies. Talk about next week. Yeah, whatever. That was the least enthusiastic intro ever. Yeah, whatever.
And Beer, what's up?
Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going, guys? Currently watching some basketball while we do the show, trying to see if we have another comeback from 3-1.
For you.
But yeah, doing good.
And Mr. A-Rod.
Matt, why did you look like you got caught watching porn when the camera got turned on you? You freaked out real quick, man. No, it's good to be here. I feel like shit, so if I disappear, I wasn't kidnapped. It just means my head gave up.
Well, you know, we're not going to be too long tonight because I spent the last...
That's what he said.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, unless you saw The Boys this week.
Well, it was... sorry.
That'll tell you how good
Television show The Boys. It was what I was saying. That was not any sort of derogatory statement.
It's okay. Just because you're from Boston doesn't mean we assume you touch kids.
That's a good joke. That's terrible. It's a good joke.
Hours.
Thank God my job doesn't watch this.
Dark Hills Entertainment.
Yeah, my mom watched just that one part.
She turns it on about the kids getting touched in Boston. Oh, this is what Nikki does.
Oh, no, that's not what I was implying at all.
No, I wasn't implying that you actually do the activity, but your mom clicks on to hears that. It's like, oh.
Maddie's got the face of an annoyed parent, like the kids
this is
keep
like the
interrupting
worst.
the sentence.
This is what, like, we lost a view. We had 2 viewers, and then as soon as you said that, one of them went. It's just like, nope, turned around. See ya.
No exit stage left.
We are turning this car around.
No, it's just this has been a long day. About 4 o'clock my time, so about 7 o'clock Eastern. I signed up a while ago for Dark Hills Entertainment. They do a live action RPG game, which they will be here with us next week, running one of their games, which is going to be kind of fun. And this one was in the Hannibal Lecter universe, and it was a lot of fun. If you go over to their YouTube or Facebook group, Dark Hills.
And what is that YouTube, Maddie?
It is youtube.com/Dark Hills Entertainment, I'm guessing.
Wow.
Look it up. And you can actually watch all 3 hours. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I left a few comments.
I didn't even see it.
I think that deserves it. They were waiting for one.
Like, didn't care. He's like, Maddie, you can go do your own thing and get us views, but fuck you.
What'd you guys do this week?
Watched football and then had to make sure my dogs weren't going to kill anybody.
Taught school.
Football.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
And then work.
Wow, work.
Yeah.
Aaron, how about you? What did you do this week
in Boston?
I've been living life, man.
You've been living life.
Actually, I talked about this briefly on the show in the past, but after months on months of actually trying to get a new job, I finally started it this week, so that was nice.
Oh, good for you.
And Devin, what have you been doing this week?
Sorting or putting away screws.
At work?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, we are tremendously happy for you. That was meant completely sarcastically. I just had to.
No.
I knew you were building up to something important, so I'm like, okay.
No, I'm half here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Listen,
Look,
Which half?
I don't know. The part of me that's not dead right now.
Interesting. We don't see the lower half of the room, guys. We only see the top half. We do not know if Aaron is wearing pants right now.
spoilers, he's not. I'm in a separate stream where it's pointed at his lower region. And I can
I
confirm.
paid for a second
I can
camera.
confirm he's packing.
If you would like to watch that second camera, it's onlyfans.com
Yeah, Jose's on
/Aaron Knoll. Booyah! Oh, God. You can find me and Bella Thorne at the top of their page.
You guys are convincing me to
He's
get
on the
one of those
top.
accounts.
He's in the
So
top
they
1%.
pay you? So
People pay
you to
see
take your
do
clothes
shit.
off.
Basically, yes. But
Or
you
they
have
like
to
send requests?
I mean, I guess you can like it's kind of like a StreamYard, I guess. You can like send in a chat, quote unquote, which would be, I guess, the request. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm just fascinated because this is just a part of the world that I'm not.
This is what happens when a
familiar
bunch of people my age get stuck in their house for a few months and get horny. They create shit
No.
like
Hear you
this.
with that pity
Look,
dick in your mouth.
the quarantine affected some of us in a very different way. Some
Aaron, if
people
you put a
made
pity dick in your
YouTube
mouth and you're
videos.
horny, I don't judge you. I mean,
Some people went on OnlyFans.
I've never had a dick in my mouth, pity or otherwise.
Which
I can't hear you.
I
with
can't
that
hear you,
pity
though.
dick
let
in
me
your
try to
mouth.
find it. Actually, I have an OnlyFans.
you do?
God,
I do.
Really, Matt? Are
Like,
you?
Yeah.
Is this like a networking thing? Like you were
Nah.
trying to
Yeah.
get viewers for TMG
I'm
After
trying to
Dark?
get porn stars on the show,
Oh yeah, you really were. No, he was doing that for me.
so I made an
He
OnlyFans.
mentioned it, and then I told him to pursue it. I'm like, that would be a great idea.
Matt, you're a great friend. You know that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just
I'm
like
trying.
surf in the comment sections of like Pornhub, just asking people
Well, I did. I was like, "Hey,
if I
ma'am."
use that
Good,
site.
I was like, "Hey, ma'am. Good job getting in
This is
there.
the way.
This is the
Can you
way.
come on After Dark?"
I am not old enough to use that site. I'm not.
I'm not capable of that emotion.
Yep.
I was gonna say, unless anyone else has topics they'd like to bring up, I was able to find some news stories in the Dead Wasteland that is film.
I do
Who's
have
watching The
something.
Boys? Like, who's watching The Boys?
I haven't seen season 1, so I'm probably just gonna wait till season 2 ends, and then at some
Yeah,
point
pretty
check it
much
out
so.
after that, and just
It'd be
binge
a
them
quick
both.
watch. Like it'd be like a quick 1 week watch.
Are they half-hour episodes or hour?
It varies week to week.
Hour.
They're usually around an hour, but they
Okay.
sometimes go like 10 more, 10 less.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I love it. The way I would pitch it is but I heard somebody else say this, so I'm stealing a line from I think like Screen Junkies maybe. If DC gave full creative control to Zack Snyder, meets Fox News. So I say meets Fox News because like it's Injustice Gods Among Us, but it's like generic versions of them, and it's like they're all managed like Fox News. Like they have none of them have actual feelings. They're managed. It's like a reality TV show with the Justice League. So and they suck. They're terrible.
Yeah,
that's very important.
The Injustice League, or the ones from the alternate universe,
like
that has
the
Owlman in it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just because it was a comment, I'll throw it up and address it because I did find it when I was doing search for a little bit of news. I would not put any credence behind this one. Heard a rumor that Henry Cavill might be James Bond. Only because it was like less than a week ago when there were those same heavy rumors circulating that Tom Hardy had the role. So I would just personally, I don't believe they're going to make any sort of announcement until No Time to Die is released, simply because I think they may have it cast, because like we know now that Affleck was cast like 6 months before he was announced.
Yeah.
But I just think it's disrespectful to him if they announce it.
Right.
I don't think it's disrespectful, but because Cavill's not being replaced to say he's retiring from the role.
Well, yeah,
But,
I just feel like it takes away if his movie's not out and they're already talking about his replacement. Yeah.
I mean, it would be different if it was like a contract negotiation thing, though. But I don't think they'd do anything like that without like his blessing. I think they'd do it a week before the movie came out to get hype.
I will say this about Henry Cavill. There's a big difference between him and Tom Hardy. Henry Cavill was the runner-up.
They're two different ones.
But he was the runner-up to Daniel Craig.
To Craig.
So
Which,
I
can I
think
just
what's
say-
going to happen is that we're going to get Pierce Brosnan is going to be the next James Bond. I think we're getting an old man Bond.
Please give me that.
He's-
I need it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I genuinely think they're doing that. I think they would go to Sean Connery for it first, but he'd say no, so they'd go to Pierce Brosnan next.
Isn't he like
Sean Connery, the
almost to his
geriatric,
deathbed?
who retired
Yeah,
18
Sean Connery's
years
like
ago
pretty
now,
retired,
17
yeah.
years ago.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's why you go with Pierce Brosnan, because that's the next best thing.
What about George Lazenby? Give him a second film.
What about
Nah.
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore's not bad. Timothy Dalton's not bad either. But it's just Pierce Brosnan. He's still got it.
Yeah, because the November
I
Man
want
was so
Roger
good.
Moore.
Out of all of them, he's still got it.
Did anyone else see the November Man? Just curious.
I
did
I
not.
saw that.
Anyone know what it is?
It's a movie where
Well-
there's an assassination at the beginning of the movie, and then he has to deal with it.
Okay, so I realize there's a problem.
Yes,
Not
it
bad.
is.
That's pretty close. Yeah.
So I realize there's a
It's
problem
better than the
with
synopsis for
getting Roger Moore.
Antebellum. It's accurate.
I realize there's a problem with getting Roger Moore. Roger Moore died in 2013. So
Yes,
if
that
they're
is
into if they're into Weekend at Bernie's,
And Timothy
What's
Dalton
on?
is banging Neanderthals on Doom Patrol.
No, they're
Yeah.
gonna hire the same guys that are CGing James Dean.
yeah,
They'll just be
I'm
like,
serious
me
about
Roger
that.
Moore.
We're getting an old man Bond.
Let's get
Pierce
all the
Brosnan.
bonds.
Maddie, you must be really tired. You're weirdly quiet, man. This
You're
is
quiet, man.
I just don't know what to say. I mean,
all right. Here, Joe.
Hey, do you want to talk about your experience tonight? Did anything happen to you that you want to talk about?
No, it was a lot of fun. I'm just not a huge Bond fan, so I was kind of like,
How about
Oh.
this? You want me to throw you something you might like?
that's what she said.
Take your pick. You want to talk Marvel? Or you want to talk
I don't know.
Scream?
Oh, I don't care.
All right. I'll go
I
with
have
the
sound
niche one. I'll go with the niche one because we have a couple of Marvel stories. I'll go with Scream. So earlier this week, producers from the Scream set confirmed that one of the members on their set had COVID. However, for anyone who doesn't know, basically film sets as of now are being divided into bubbles. So certain specific groups of people are only allowed on main set at certain times and only allowed to be around each other. And that's in order to make sure that, and if anyone does come in with it, the contraction is as least likely as possible.
What's the Marvel news? This is too real, guys.
So here's what. So this is the difference, right? So everyone heard about the Batman a couple of weeks ago, where Pattinson caught COVID and they had to shut down because of it. Well, the difference is this is one of the background crew workers. So it was a story that came out, and then the producers came out and clarified, yes, one of our members did catch it. As soon as we had a possible confirmation, we sent them to quarantine. Everyone in his bubble got tested. No one came back positive, so everything was able to continue with the production. The big news in that, however, is in the story where this got confirmed, we had a list of cast members that were announced, a large proportion of which had not been previously announced. So we actually have names that are a part of the cast now, some of which weren't announced before. So
It went more positive. I'm so happy you went there. I was slowly just you could have put the sad Affleck thing with the Simon and Garfunkel song to that, because I was just melting, oh my god, he's talking about COVID. So what were the exciting casting updates?
All right, so we'll get there. So we know that as of now that the film is being directed by Matt Bettinelli-Open and Tyler Gillett, who are behind Ready or Not, and the main screenplay writer is James Vanderbilt, behind films like Zodiac and The Amazing Spider-Man. We also knew that the main trio were coming back in Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox. We also know
David Arquette, wow, friendly. They're very friendly.
We also know now that there are two more returning people. The voice of Ghostface from their other films, Roger L. Jackson, will be confirmed to return as the voice of Ghostface, as well as actress Marley Shelton, who will be returning as Judy Hicks, a character that was introduced in the fourth film. We also have new actors joining: actress Melissa Barrera, who will be seen making her English acting debut. She's a Hispanic actress. Her debut comes next year in the Lin-Manuel Miranda film In the Heights. They're also joined by The Boys star Jack Quaid, former Disney actress Jenna Ortega, 13 Reasons Why star Dylan Minnette, and Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, Mason Gooding, who was most recently seen in the Hulu show Love, Victor. So what do you guys think about this cast?
Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid's son and Meg Ryan's son. So that's Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. And Jack Quaid, not just on The Boys, not just The Boys star. You brought it up there. You can't blame me for this. You cannot blame me for this.
Was
Jack
he in Star
Quaid,
Trek?
Star Trek ensign on Star Trek
Ensign
Lower
Boimler.
Decks, Ensign Jack Boimler or Hugh Boimler. I don't know. Boimler, Ensign Boimler.
I don't know if they said his first.
They said his first name, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's his first name. But yeah,
Is he with the eyepiece?
he's the one with the really pale skin in purple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
All right, so with some of those new names joining, obviously some of them we don't really know about, but the three, obviously, like the first name on that list, Melissa Barrera, we don't know anything about, but the other 4 names that were on that list, I don't know, Maddie, maybe you've seen Disney, former Disney actors Jenna Ortega, Jack Quaid, Dylan Minnette, and Mason Gooding. Anyone have any opinion on those actors?
Jack Quaid gets me excited.
Yeah. The one that interests me out of that group, I don't know if anyone else here has seen the Hulu show Love Victor. I watched it because I actually really like the movie that it's a sequel to, Love Simon. I believe that show is his Cuba Gooding Son's acting debut, or if it wasn't, then it was like one of his very, very, very early roles. He was actually surprisingly solid for a character that started with one note. He improved. He did a great job on it. And the other one for me is Dylan Minnette. I haven't seen 13 Reasons Why. I'm not a huge fan of it, but for me, the one that I saw from him that gets me excited is Don't Breathe. I thought he was great in Don't Breathe.
He's also great in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in that one episode.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was on there.
He was, just one episode.
Really good in 13 Reasons Why. He's really good.
I've heard he's good. The show just doesn't interest me, but I've never heard a bad thing about his performance.
The show is hard. It's really hard to watch.
Here,
You know
remind
what
me
my
of the
favorite-
Shield episode.
I know, it's in season 1. It was on the
What
first
did he
few.
season 1? He was
have been
was
2 or
he the one,
3.
the fire guy.
What
I
was the
can
name?
find it. I have it. I can get
I
it.
think there was a
Wikipedia
ship.
up.
There's
What
like
was
a
his
ship.
name?
It's like Dylan something with an M.
Dylan
You know what his
Minnette.
best role in Minette?
Oh yeah,
You know
no,
what
he
his
was the
best
nice
role
guy.
is? There we
What
go.
was his best role? What was it?
It was the first Goosebumps movie.
He was actually really good in that.
Yeah, no, that's who I'm thinking. Yeah,
He was
Okay,
in Red
okay,
Claw.
I found it. He was in 2 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes.
yeah, 2 of them. He was the ice guy. Yeah,
He was also in Fred Claus, apparently.
in
Yeah.
season 2,
With one of the
they made it like left open, like, ooh, he's gonna come back. They didn't find a body, and then he never comes back.
But yeah, he was honestly, because I forgot he's in Prisoners too, and then not in a great movie, but I thought that Alexander and the terrible, horrible title was actually a decent movie.
It was a fine
But he had a couple of decent movies back to back, and then 13 Reasons Why kept him busy for a few years.
He's a distinguished face.
He was also a prick in Let Me In. It was a kind of a
He was in
low budget
commercials, too.
horror movie.
The vampire one, Matt Reeves. Yeah.
Mhm.
Who was he in
It
that?
was so great. Like
Matt
he's
Reeves
the
vampire
bully.
movie. Yes,
He's the
please.
bully.
He was the bully. Oh shit!
Yeah, he's the bully. I looked it up.
That Vampire
Oh, no
Academy
way.
thing?
I just thought of a bad joke.
Well,
Here's my OnlyFans. You like jazz?
You like
you go.
jazz?
You
Oh
can
my
join
god, Matt! You're
What
the
do you
best.
blow your trumpet for them or something, Matt?
No, that's a quote from B movie.
Look, I'll be
go,
completely
Kyle.
honest. There's nothing on there because I forgot my password to that account. So
You should
I am
change it
sorry
to,
about that.
Tell me your name.
Um,
Tell me you love jazz.
Oh.
Yeah, you love jazz.
All right. So what
There
I
is the
gathered
Riker.
from the random collecting assortment of actors here is there is at least a level of excitement from everyone for someone in that cast.
So what was the Marvel news?
So obviously we have the bigger story, and then we have a smaller story that was announced today. The big Marvel news was.
the smaller.
You want to start with the smaller one?
Yeah, because I'm gonna look up his.
Yeah, you got to work your way up. You can't just plunge in the big one.
What are you looking up? Sorry.
I'm gonna look up the picture of the guy. Oh, this is DC. I apologize.
Oh, are you talking for the DC story with Black Adam? I had that one too.
Yep, I was trying to find a picture of the guy just so
and
like.
there is some Ray Fisher news too.
Oh, not again. We'll get there later.
No,
Okay.
this is good news. Like he's been in my eyes because this is a story that I kind of was starting to like. It was getting under my skin a little bit because it was. But in my eyes, he's been vindicated. Jason Momoa has jumped on his back, and then right after
Well,
that,
doesn't sound painful.
pretty much everybody else jumped on his back. They're doing. They're said to be doing reshoots in October.
They are. Yes.
to give Ray Fisher Cyborg to set up a story for him moving forward. And they're also, I heard a rumor today that they are trying to get Ryan Reynolds to play Green Lantern.
Good luck with that. That's what I'll say.
I would love that. Like you could kill him off if you wanted to. Like, and then the ring goes to like Jon Stewart or Guy Gardner or something like that. I want to see that because we watched Green Lantern last week, and guess what, guys? It is not as bad as you remember. It's not as bad as you remember. The dialogue, crap. The villain, horrible. Sinestro, amazing.
Oh, wait, I got muted. So what you're saying is the movie's not as bad as you remember, but everything sucks except for Sinestro.
It's not as bad as... So here's what...
I like Sinestro, even though I think the movie sucks.
Mark Strong Sinestro, please. Just more. But when you think about bad superhero movies, it's on the top of that list. And when I say the top of that list, I'm not saying that it's the worst
of the worst.
It's the best of the worst. That's what I say about that movie. That movie, I would say, is slightly better than X-Men Origins Wolverine, which also has Ryan Reynolds in it.
Which isn't saying a whole lot.
I'd say it's better than the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, all the Fantastic Four movies, frankly. But that's just what I'm saying. Of the bad ones, it's better than Batman and Robin. It's better than like Batman Forever. It's not a horrible movie.
Oh yeah,
it's not as bad as people
I don't
like.
Need to watch that to say that.
Yeah, people just tear it open, and it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's completely watchable.
Oh, right. So I got that Xbox.
We'll go ahead.
Anyways, that's the only transition.
Did you want to do the DC story if you found the picture of that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go there. Cool. So we'll go ahead and do the DC one first, and then we'll bounce back to Marvel.
We can put that up there.
So the upcoming DC film, Black Adam, starring Dwayne Johnson, has been slowly starting to get its cast and filming together. We know, obviously, earlier this year at DC Universe, they released a little animatic trailer projecting kind of the prologue to the story. We also knew ahead of time that Netflix's pretty boy Noah Centineo would be playing Atom Smasher, and now it's been confirmed that Straight Outta Compton actor Aldous Hodge is joining the cast as Hawkman.
What else has he been in?
Give me a second to pull up his filmography. I just knew Straight Outta Compton.
He was in Leverage.
Please pull up his filmography because I think you'll be interested.
He was in Leverage, which was a TV show that ran for.
He was, yes.
Which I absolutely love that show. So he was fantastic in Straight Outta Compton. Like he played MC Ren really well.
Yep, I found it. So he was Ren in Straight Outta Compton. Other films include Hidden Figures, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, Brian Banks, and earlier this year, The Invisible Man.
And Invisible Man, yeah. So that's another thing. TV shows. He was on a Star Trek Short Trek. He did. So Star Trek has this series called Short Treks. And they're like these little 10-minute like Star Trek episodes that are like anthologies. And he was in one of those. Yeah, I thought it was him. There's another guy that it was called Calypso. Yeah, and it's basically he lands on like Discovery, like it's lost in space, and like he falls in love with the computer. So cool.
her, but
her, but different in Star Trek with lens flares. There's so many lens flares, guys. Watch them. Short Treks.
What do you guys think of the casting? Obviously, he's been in a couple of big-sized projects, but he's mostly been a supporting actor. Yeah. So this will give him an opportunity to kind of branch out and get an even bigger role. What do you guys think? Maddie, obviously, you knew right away who he was. So
yeah, he's great.
I thought it was Manchester.
He thought it was the other guy that's on Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, he looks very much like him. Like they kind of have a similar facial structure, and I always get the two of them confused, but they were both on Star Trek, so I knew it was one of them, so I was very excited about that. Invisible Man is great. He's the best part of Invisible Man.
That I don't agree with, but that's okay. He's been in a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, over the years coming up, he had a lot of small bits in films and TV shows, and I thought I saw Lady Killers on there, the Coen Brothers one, right? Check that for me. Yeah, like he was in a lot of stuff coming up. It's just Straight Outta Compton was the first one that gave him major airtime, and even then, compared to like the lead three, he was still supporting in the background.
I forgot he was in that. Who did he play in that?
MC Red.
He's one of the two you don't remember offhand because it's Eazy-E, Dre, Cube, and then MC Ren, and I think the other one's Yellow Wolf, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So MC Yellow.
MC Yellow. Yellow Wolf's another person.
Yeah,
Yellow. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Yellow.
Corey Hawkins is in all of the Iron Man movies. He plays like a random like Air Force controller.
Cool.
I just thought that was an interesting fact because we were talking about Straight Outta Compton.
I like him. I thought he was great in Kong.
Kong, yeah, he's good in Kong. I like that
Kong.
24 sequel that he did.
I never saw it, but I heard it was good.
It wasn't bad.
Nikki.
Yeah, it was 24, but with him. Yeah, it was 12. Yeah, it was only 12 episodes, so why is it 24? Yeah.
See?
And Jimmy Smits was on there. Yeah, cool. Straight Outta Compton, good movie, good film.
The three we know, everybody remembers. The one you really, the two you really don't.
Can I just say, because you have the picture pulled up, I wonder if anyone else agrees with me. When I first saw Straight Outta Compton, out of the 5 of them, I thought, because of his inexperience, O'Shea Jackson Jr. was the worst of the group in that film. Can I just say, he has progressed amazingly as an actor since. Like, anything he's in now, he actually excites me. He's really good. What did Dell ad start playing?
All right, Chris is blowing this shit up. Let's get this out of the way. I don't give a fuck if Henry Cavill's not coming back for a reshoot.
That's good stuff. That means that Snyder was happy with everything that they had, and that the studio is the one that wanted reshoots in the first place. So Zack Snyder never intended to have. Okay. Zack Snyder never intended to have reshoots on Justice League. The only reason they had reshoots in the first place was for the studio, and now they're doing even more reshoots now because they're letting him. So he's getting to finish this the way that he wants to, and the way that he views it is that we don't need more stuff with Superman. Superman was perfect the first time around, and we don't need to add anything to it. So, Chris, that's something that let it give you confidence. If you're a fan of Zack Snyder, that means he shot Superman the way that he wanted to, and that we're going to get his version of Superman.
And on that note, what else you got?
My piece to add to that was I just learned Aldous Hodge was apparently in not 1 but 2 Die Hard films. Seriously, that guy's been in a lot.
Yeah.
He was in Bed of Roses too, which is even more surprising. That was a 96 chick flick.
Yeah, like he seriously, Big Mama's House, Lady Killers, Happy Feet.
Happy Feet, God.
He was other voices.
Nice.
Like I was genuinely. Kevin, actually, I do want to shout out Kevin though, because he was at least in the chat. He actually watched most of the RPG game, so shout out to him. You know.
Oh shit! That's why his name looked familiar. I was looking.
They showed his comments.
I was looking on Wikipedia, and I saw he had a brother, and I was like, "Oh, the brother's name looks familiar too." And I clicked on it. His brother is the guy who was in 3 of the Purge films. He was the black guy from the first one that carried over into the sequels.
Oh,
that's his brother. Yeah. Okay.
The guy survived.
Yeah, the guy that survived, and then he was in Anarchy and Election Year.
Devin, you have hope.
It was a joke.
We all know that if you ever are in a Purge situation, I'm the one that's surviving.
That first Purge movie was terrible, but at least the black guy survived. You are correct about that.
I hate the third one. Is that the one with Candy Girl?
Yes. Yeah.
I fucking hated her.
Candy Girl?
I know that was the point, but it just annoyed me so much.
Yeah, I think they did it a little too well, because I liked most of that movie, but that part was just nah.
See, I'm one of these people. I don't listen to any of them. I actually don't mind any of them. I just watched the original Purge out of order. I put that one. Well, hear me out. I'm
in the minority where I think it's the best one.
I watched the first
Anarchy,
obviously, and then I'll put Anarchy on, and then I'll watch the original The Purge, and then I'll put on Election Year.
Okay. Do you agree? Okay. Maybe you guys would agree with that. I think the first one has the best acting because Lena Headey's incredible in that movie.
Oh no, not at all. But I think.
Thanks.
See, I think Grillo in the sequels is probably the best.
Grillo's iconic. Like I would say, like Grillo's iconic. I just think the performance Lena Headey gives in that is like just a mother trying to protect her like family. That one got me the most because the other two are more of just like let's look at Frank Grillo kill people, which is great. But
fair enough. Yeah, I guess the first one more disappointed me so because I've only seen it I think the one time a few years ago.
Go back and
I saw it after I saw the second one.
Disappointed me because I thought the concept was great. And to me, that was like, okay, you took a brilliant concept and made the most basic version of a home invasion film out of it. So when the second one came out, I didn't think it was a much, much better film. I was just like, oh, this is a more fulfilled version of the concept that I wanted.
Yeah.
More story,
no, I can't even disagree with that.
Intertwining things. Like, this is what I kind of wanted. Now I just, if they make another one, which apparently there is a fifth one in production, I hope they move away from... Because you can do anything. Let's move away from killing. Like, let's see a bank heist during the Purge. Like, someone's got to be doing that, right?
Oh, yes.
You want to see that? Go and watch the USA. They only had 2 seasons. TV.
Oh, the show, right?
They did. Yeah, I knew they did one. Yeah.
Did the show do that as well? Did the show do something like that?
They did. Must have done something like that. TNT, right?
USA. The first season.
USA. Oh.
The first season follows this group of people on Purge Night, what they're doing on Purge Night. The second one kind of expands on what happens during the year.
I don't want to purge, guys. I don't want to purge. Don't.
Now, Chris, to answer your question,
I'm voting for it.
The original Purge, the one that came out the first, is called The Purge.
Okay, yeah. I think he was clear. I think he was clarifying because earlier he'd commented have yet to watch first Purge. I think he meant the prequel. I think he was just trying to clarify.
Those 4 comments go together.
I like
5 comments.
Diaz had a comment though that I just want to address. There are a lot of random actors and actresses in the Iron Man series. Kate Mara was in Iron Man 2, Invisible Woman, and Kevin Spacey threw her in front of a train in House of Cards.
Okay.
Oh, my testes itch. Hey guys.
Yeah.
So do Kevin Spacey. And meanwhile,
and Sex Luthor.
All right, so Aldous Hodge is in DC. That's awesome for him. Actually, if I'm being real, I like that trio because I can make jokes that Noah Centinneo's Netflix is Pretty Boy, but I actually think that first To All the Boys movie is one of the better rom-coms they've actually made.
And Courtney Cox and David Arquette are like I like their relationship. Because they got married, they got divorced, but they still work well together. I thought you were saying that you said the Trinity. So I thought you were talking about the Scream actors.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no. I was saying like for the.
I dropped the remote, Trinity. So I thought that.
No, you're good.
I missed that.
I meant the trio of guys on the Black Adam movie. Like Dwayne Johnson, Centineo, and Aldous Hodge. I not only think because like another example, a movie that I don't think is anywhere near great, and he was certainly overmarketed in it. But in Charlie's Angels, I mean, he's only in it for like 10 minutes tops, but I actually think he did a decent job for what they gave him to do, which was essentially be a pretty boy, because that's kind of all he's there.
I forgot he was in it.
O'Shea?
No, actor though.
Noah Centineo.
Okay.
The Netflix kid.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's the Netflix kid, but I actually think he is a decent actor. Like, I think this is a good thing for him. This and He-Man's the other one I think he's cast in, which is one of those weird, like, sure, okay, it's worth a shot. But so we can go to another. Did it? I'm not shocked, but
yeah, that they canceled it.
So what was the Marvel news?
Doing the show.
So the smaller of the 2 Marvel news is earlier today, the actor himself, Richard E. Grant, confirmed that he would be appearing in Loki alongside Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. Now, for those of you who don't know Richard E. Grant, his 2 most famous roles recently was his Oscar nomination for Can You Ever Forgive Me? And for you Blockbuster fans, he was in The Rise of Skywalker as General.
Yeah. Good space Nazi. We
was
like
better
him.
in Logan.
He was better in Spice World. No, he was in Spice World. He was like the evil record producer.
Who was he in Doctor Who? I've never seen it. Who was he in Doctor Who?
Yeah, Spice World. Spice up your life. If you're having a good time, spice up your life.
Was he a doctor, Maddie?
No, he played a bad guy.
He's always a bad guy, but he'll probably be a bad guy in this. I think he's going to be the head of the Time Variance Authority. So like Owen Wilson is like a time cop in this, I've heard. And like Loki's kind of doing like time travel stuff.
Gonna bring in Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Maybe. I think that he's the head of the Time Corporation, but like whatever time
Sure.
variance agency. Yeah. So that's what I think he's playing. That's like what if I hear Richard E. Grant, that's the first thing I thought of. Like he's going to be an authority figure.
Yeah, and he said when he put out the tweet, he said, at Tom Hiddleston and I have talked about working together for some years and we'll finally get to do it in Loki. So it seems like he's excited. He wanted to work with Tom Hiddleston specifically, and never a better project to work with him on than one he's leading. But yeah, I think this is really good news. He's been in 2 big blockbusters in the last 3 years. He was great in Logan. I thought he was one of the better parts of Rise of Skywalker.
I liked when he blew out of a window. That was cool.
For what he had, you know, he did what he could. And honestly, I've never seen Can You Ever Forgive Me, but I've heard it's brilliant, and I've heard he's brilliant in it.
In Spice World.
It's just one of those I'll have to get to. Fuck Spice World, dude.
I watched it on...
Knapsack will not let me forget that. He isn't... And the pimp stick, yes, thank you, Devin. He does have a pimp stick in The Rise of Skywalker. It's shown in like one scene, and it's actually like in the visual guide. They call it a swagger stick because they do not want to say pimp stick in an official Disney publication.
Nick, is that confirmed canon?
It's swagger. Swagger stick
is the word pimp. Is that?
Do they not have pimps?
They call Lando a scoundrel. He's a pimp. Come on, guys. No. Look at him. He's got a cape.
I mean, Donald Glover pimping, so I believe
closet of capes. Only a pimp would have a closet of capes, guys. So
look, to be fair,
they suggest that he has sex with the robot.
Robots, yeah.
Solo.
Which is okay.
So
we're not judging. We do not kink shame. Get that in the bottom left text. We don't kink shame. Oh, it works. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand him wanting to fuck a robot that spouts out equality phrases, but I mean, hey,
I don't understand that either. Oh my god!
You're on a ship. You're alone. You have nothing going on. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I'm with you on that one. That droid, I hate.
Yeah,
I hate that droid.
All right, so
I just hate
that. We can get into the big news because I think this can actually take up a bulk of conversation.
Real quick, I do want to address this really quick before we moved on, because speaking of Richard E. Grant, Chris, no, he should not have won. If anybody should have won, it was Mahershala Ali that won. But if anybody didn't win should have won.
For Mahershala, everybody.
It should have been Sam Elliott out of the guys that didn't win.
Because he cried in a Dodge Ram.
Yes, he does cry in a Dodge Ram, and that alone should have given him the award. And there is my orders.
Product placement ever.
Fuck.
He's gonna bring those up later.
There's my.
But somebody clicked on them. I got them, both of them. Not that. Get that out of here. It's less superior.
You.
See, it's the Mick Drive. It's the Mick Xbox. That's what it is, the Mick Xbox.
So you got both the PS5 and the Xbox.
Yeah.
And Maddie, will you do me a favor and
Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born. I think I'm on your page now.
Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate that.
It's mine, man.
Now
I did that with the Force, everybody.
Please.
No, I can't.
But he brought it up.
So I do have a theory about the Marvel thing, though, with the WandaVision being the first thing that we see. I think anything that we're going to see on the TV side of things is going to be less connected to Black Widow. Because I think originally we were supposed to get Falcon and Winter Soldier first. And I think the reason we're not getting Falcon and Winter Soldier first is because of one man, and that is William Hurt. Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, I think he is going to be doing something in the Black Widow movie that we are going to have to know about when Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out.
They also still had about 10 days of filming left.
Yeah, they did that too. But even that aside, they could have done. That's going to be done by the time December. So that's going to be done by the time that WandaVision comes out.
Yeah.
So I really think that it's a story thing where WandaVision, the only rule with WandaVision is that needs to come out before Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be the whole watch it as soon as you're done, watch Doctor Strange.
And because it's kind of an espionage, so both of those things are magic things, and the WandaVision was always supposed to come out first. But because Black Widow was always supposed to come out before Falcon and Winter Soldier, it tells me that William Hurt thing, everybody has these theories about the Thunderbolts team, Red Hulk, stuff like that. He's up to something. They did not bring him back just to be kind of a foil in Civil War and a background character in the Avengers movie. There is a bigger plan with William Hurt Thunderbolt Ross going on. And I think it starts in Black Widow, and we're going to see it continue in Falcon and Winter Soldier and going on in the MCU.
All right. Well, before we go full into talking about the MCU, I'll at least get it out. So obviously, it is known that there was massive date shifting and including actual film shifting, as in when certain stuff is coming out. So we'll go ahead and get into it. So as of right now, the film structure to release films is Black Widow is set for release on May 7th, 2021, bouncing from its November date. Up next, we have the first of two shifts. The first is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings will be coming out ahead of Eternals now on July 9th, 2021, with Eternals taking a November 5th, 2021 release date.
Disconnected. That tells me Shang-Chi's disconnected.
Then we have Spider-Man Far From Home sequel releasing on December 17th, 2021. Yep. Then we move into the next year, Thor Love and Thunder. I believe Doctor Strange was supposed to be first originally. Now Thor Love and Thunder comes out first on February 11th, 2022. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is March 25th, 2022. Black Panther 2 is still dated for May 6th, 2022. And the untitled Captain Marvel sequel, which just hired director Nia DaCosta, is still set for July 8th, 2022. We also now know that Falcon and Winter Soldier has been pushed into 2021, meaning the December 2020 release date for WandaVision will make it the first show we are seeing. They are still saying that 2021 will see the release of 3 more shows, including Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and the first of 2 scheduled seasons from Marvel's What If.
And I believe them, because the What If, I mean, that's like one of those things it's animated and it's self-contained. So they don't have to worry about anything that's going on in the other things because it's a what if thing. You're not going to reveal something that was supposed to be revealed in Black Widow or in Eternals. So you said Shang-Chi is coming out before Eternals. That's why I think Shang-Chi is going to be really isolated to that Mandarin plotline. And that tells me it's going to be very kung fu, like karate, martial arts centric film. That's kind of going to be isolated from the rest of the MCU that will eventually tie in, because Mandarin, I mean, I think that's something we're going to see. I don't think we've seen the last of Iron Man. I know he's gone at the end of Endgame, but Robert Downey Jr. can't make other movies, and Iron Man is too big of like a box.
Whoa. He's had one movie come out since Endgame, and I'd say that's far from his fault. For the
I'm not even talking about that one. I was talking more about what was the one where he was a lawyer?
The Judge.
That was 6 years ago, though.
That one, no, I know that, but it just, he doesn't have a good track record for non-MCU movies. The best one that I think he's had was Tropic Thunder.
But I was going to say, but before that, he had 2 Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes, both of which did well, and he had Tropic Thunder. What I think it's just bad luck, because The Judge was a movie that I don't think ever would have done well successfully. That definitely feels like a movie that nowadays would go to streaming, not to a theater.
It wasn't just that. He wanted Oscar buzz for that one, though. Well, like, he did that kind of movie because he was like, okay, this is the one for me. And he did get nominated for a Golden Globe.
Specifically, the one I remember was Duvall got an Oscar nomination.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, Duvall got an Oscar nomination.
So I just don't think, I think when it comes to that, it might be an unfair statement. I just think that's eventually what it's going to come around to, because they did also say that he would appear in Black Widow, and Marvel doesn't do one movie contracts. That's what his contract was up, and then he had to sign a new one to appear in Black Widow. That's why actors like Joaquin Phoenix wouldn't do Doctor Strange. He didn't want to get tied down to the large contract. But
have multiple contracts. Who says it can't be a small cameo in Spider-Man Homecoming?
It could be, and it could be. I just don't think it is, and that was a Sony release. That's also like the what if about that? Because I think technically one of the things that they can do, I don't think it matters anymore because of the COVID stuff. But I heard a rumor early on that they could have Kingpin in Spider-Man 3, because that's one of those characters that falls under, okay, he's a Daredevil character, but he's also a Spider-Man character, and Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, so they don't have to adhere to that cooldown period that Netflix had. So I think it might be those things. I just look into like I don't see a lot of people doing one movie and then they're done, especially somebody as big as like Downey Iron Man.
I still don't. Has Marvel themselves confirmed that Downey's in Black Widow? Because I don't know if they have, and if I'm being honest, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Right.
You don't like it?
Because
I think it's happening.
Because first up, because I just saw it. What's up, Alec?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, buddy?
I was doing that too.
Yeah. No, I just, to me, it's like, look, I'm totally okay with the fact that Downey's done and Iron Man's done. Like, I think that's great. But you literally just killed him. Then you spent your next movie entirely focused on a character having to live up to the legacy of Iron Man. I think it's really lack of moving forward if he shows up in a cameo.
Comic books, though.
Especially because if the movie is a prequel, like a mid-quel between Civil War and Infinity War, why is Iron Man there? Like, I think
it's all like Civil War type stuff. Like, I think that's what it is. It's
I don't know. Because I thought by the end of the movie she was already on Cap's side. Like, we'd already seen her flip. So I would have believed if Chris Evans shows up in a cameo leading into Infinity War, that to me makes more sense. Especially because people have called out, apparently the jacket that she's wearing at the start of Infinity War looks very, very similar, if not identical, to Florence Pugh's jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would make more sense. That would also kind of be a spoiler, I guess. If you think
I'm interested that you said that, though, that you think Widow was Team Cap at the end of Captain America: Civil War.
But she is, because she betrays Black Panther. She lets Steve get away.
I hear what you're saying, but when you analyze like that movie, she's the only one that's right. She has a line in the movie: "Staying together is more important than how."
I never trust Google. I don't.
Staying together is more important than how we stay together. She wasn't Team Iron Man. She wasn't Team Cap. She was about keeping the peace, and the only way they could do that at that moment was to help Cap. So I don't think she was full Team Cap. I think like by the end of that movie, like she regroups with Cap because there might be some sort of threat, or maybe she brings intelligence to Cap. But it would make more sense. You're right.
I'm not saying in terms of ideology. No. I'm literally saying
it does make more sense.
Captain. I'm literally saying she
ends up with Cap in Infinity War. Like they're together at the beginning of that movie. I think you're absolutely right.
It still says rumored though, Maddie. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe.
Like if it happens, it happens. I'm just saying, to me at least, it doesn't sit well because the whole point of this is you're supposed to be trying to move past him.
Agent Sitwell? Does that mean Agent Sitwell is going to appear? Are we going to get Jasper Sitwell in there?
I mean, he was already dead, so if you want to explain that.
You saw him get thrown out of a car. You did not see him die.
Well,
but no, going back to my comment before, though. They just killed Iron Man, and now they're going to bring him back. Like, one of those things, that's like all comic books. Like that's Superman. It's sort of, this is a true story. I was watching Spider-Man: Far From Home. My mother came over. She saw this on the TV, and like it was one of the scenes where he's like mourning over Iron Man, and she's like, "Well, what?" Or Nick Fury said something about the funeral. She's like, "Whose funeral?" And I'm like, "Stark's." You saw that because you saw Endgame. It's like Stark's funeral. Oh, really? He's still dead? So it's just one of those things with comic books. They kill Superman to bring him back.
Right. But I think it's a different situation as far as him coming back.
It's very different because there's not an actual human involved in playing. I'm just saying, I guarantee you we have not seen the last of Robert Downey Jr.
I guess, but we're being honest, and we can move on from this if you guys want. To me,
I'm sorry
that plays into a bigger issue I have with Marvel in general, is that there, especially because I just finished my MCU rewatch. I've now seen all of them in the last few months. There's almost no stakes because almost no one ever dies. And so, like, to me, the big strike move was you did a film, and like when you see it at the beginning of Far From Home, I think it's very telling. You have put yourself in a scenario where you took 3 of your big 6, put them out of commission, and took a very powerful character in Vision and took him out of the picture permanently. Him coming back in WandaVision doesn't cheapen it for me because I know it's most likely all going to be figment of her mind fucking with her, especially with the shit in the trailer between him and Catherine Hahn, right? Like, it's for the most part, it's all very mental. And I know that's a thing in comic books. I guess I just don't like it for the film transition because the problem is, like, when I go into them, like one of my least favorite things about watching Thor: The Dark World was I hadn't seen it since it came out in theaters. So I knew that Renee Russo died. I just forgot. I just couldn't remember exactly when she died. Right. I immediately remembered when she died because she spent 1.5 films not being a character, and then all of a sudden got 3 scenes in a row where she mattered. And I went, oh, so she's dying here.
See, here's the thing that they redeemed that in Endgame. They do redeem that in Endgame.
Yeah, but I have to look at it as they're making it and writing the film, not them going back.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything that you just said is true about how like it lowers the stakes. I still think they're going to do it. Even though it lowers the stakes, even though it lowered the stakes when they brought everybody back. It lowered the stakes when they brought Gamora back. It lowered the stakes when they brought Thanos back.
And I agree with that.
I love those characters so much that I don't care.
There was a reason that happened, which was very vital to Endgame even happening.
But I still want the new Iron Man. They have me. They have me. I love Iron Man so much that if they bring Iron Man back, I'm gonna buy that Iron Man action figure. I'm gonna go to that movie.
I would hate if they bring Tony back. Not just dislike. I would hate it because it like Aaron said, it cheapens
their biggest.
But you're still gonna be there. You're still gonna buy the ticket.
I might not.
Yeah, you will.
I'll be honest. I have like little to no interest in a lot of the upcoming Marvel stuff. Like I have no interest in Black Widow.
Go to the theater again.
Wait, time out. I have a question. Matt, shut up. WandaVision, does that come out before or after Black Widow?
Before. It's before everything.
So it'll be the only Marvel content release.
That's why. 2020. Yeah. That's why I think that one's not connected to Black Widow at all, and that Black Widow is more connected to what's going to happen in Falcon Soldier.
Hold on. I have a theory. What if when she brings back Vision, because we all know that she's going to somehow birth Vision.
And her kids.
What if they use the stone to bring him back?
Create the stone.
She's the closest thing there is to the stone. So here's the thing with the Infinity Stones that I think I heard somebody officially from Marvel say. Just because the stones were destroyed doesn't mean that their power is gone. So the stones controlled a central aspect of reality, which was always true. Those stones controlled those aspects of reality. But just because those stones are gone doesn't mean that those aspects of reality aren't controlled by somebody else. So now Wanda,
I like you, Alec.
That's why I think Wanda is more powerful than she's ever been, because the stone is gone. There's nothing else that's influencing her power.
No, bringing back Tony, I would not only hate it, it would almost ruin Endgame a little bit for me.
It would,
because his death is so vital to not only that movie, but Phase 1 through 3.
You'll always have Paris, Matt. You'll always have that.
His death kind of symbolizes the end of Phase.
Yeah, it's the end of an era.
That entire thing.
Yeah,
that's why I want them, and that also with Cap being old. Bringing Cap back, I'm fine with that because he's an old man. You don't.
Oh, they're gonna bring young Cap back.
I don't want to see young Cap. I know.
They're all gonna be back.
Yeah, I would hate it so much because I have like I said, I have little to no interest in most of the movies. Like I'm excited for Doctor Strange. You know, the Eternals does intrigue me.
Yeah,
I don't really care about the next Thor. I didn't really like Ragnarok much at all. It just was too much comedy. Like it just goes way too much. Like I love Taika, but that was.
I would agree with you on that. I think too much of that, like the improv stuff, is what I don't like.
And like honestly, I could give two shits about Black Widow.
Here's the only reason why
I just don't care about it.
Here's the only reason why I am even sort of intrigued for the fourth Thor, and that's only because I think Ragnarok is fine. To me, it's an issue of I think the film in and of itself is good, and I think the humor in and of itself is funny. But my biggest problem with it is this is a film that on paper should be the most dramatic and emotion-driven of all the Thor films, and every single time we get there, he undercuts the emotion moment with a joke.
Yeah, here's the worst part of that movie.
It almost changes Thor, like character-wise.
No.
Like
that moment where he's looking at the destruction of Asgard, and then right after that, Korg says, "We will rebuild it." Oh no, we can't. I guess that's it cuts it in half. That's an emotional moment. He watches Asgard destroyed, and then he's thrown to the king.
Here's why I think it'll be okay. First off, I don't think whatever they do in this fourth one will have any amount of the same level of dramatic weight as the third one, especially because the third one was the predecessor leading right into Infinity War. But also, like, story-wise, but also, to me, all the issues that I had filmmaking-wise with Ragnarok in terms of how the story was written were fixed by the time he got to Jojo Rabbit, because Jojo Rabbit does a very similar thing. It's him balancing the comedy with the drama, but I think he took a massive step up when it came to doing it with Jojo. And
JoJo, because we get the performances in JoJo. That's what it is.
I think now that he has that experience of now he's done two films balancing that same kind of act, I think he'll be stronger going into Love and Thunder, because he never handled the movie anywhere near close to that scale or that type of dramatic tension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because I think with Thor in that movie, like there's one scene that like kind of encapsulates what I have. There's like the Meek's dead thing at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, Meek's dead. Those two things, the destruction of Asgard and then Thor being crowned king of Asgard, like those two things, those should not have any jokes in them. Those should, because when he's crowned king of Asgard, when he takes the throne, they're playing the original Thor score right there. It's like this emotional moment, and then it's just all Meek's dead. It's like, oh God, dude, come on, just roll credits. Don't give me that.
I'm going to say something controversial, and let me explain, please. I think that, I actually enjoy watching The Dark World more than I do Ragnarok, and I'll tell you why. It has to do with the character.
Yeah, character. I think no, don't cut him out, because what I was just saying about performance in the Hitler movie Jojo Rabbit, that's what I was gonna say about Ragnarok, is that the performances in Ragnarok are subpar.
I think Hemsworth is really good in Thor, but that's because Hemsworth is a really good actor, especially when it comes to comedy in general. The reason why I enjoyed The Dark World more is because it fits more with the Thor character. And then when you get to Ragnarok, it takes a complete 180 and changes just how he is, how he acts, all this stuff. Like, yeah, he has some humor from time to time. Like, I mean, you see it in Age of Ultron. He has a little bit of humor, but he doesn't act like an idiot. Like, I think Ragnarok is a better made movie. Like, I think it's a technically better made movie. My enjoyment comes for more of, and it's the character of Thor, because that Thor is pretty much the same Thor as in every MCU movie except for Ragnarok. And also with Ragnarok, it was just too comedic for me. There's literally, at least Ragnarok or The Dark World, when there's emotional things happening, you actually feel the emotion, and it doesn't just get tossed away.
Emotional things.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. No, I agree. I don't agree with him that it's a better movie, but what I would say is there are some things that Dark World gets right. There are some things that Ragnarok gets right. I think Dark World has better performances. I think Ragnarok has better characters.
I think Ragnarok's a better movie. Ragnarok's a better movie than Dark World. It's just my enjoyment.
I hear what you're saying.
Dark World.
I understand completely.
Where I would argue that is, I also don't think Dark World delivers on any of its emotional punches either. Because, for me at least, what are the big emotional moments in Dark World? Well, you have Frigga's death.
Frigga dies, and then
Frigga's a non-character. She's there for 1.5 movies and does absolutely nothing.
Have you seen it since you've seen Endgame?
I've watched all of them again. I just watched all of them. Yes,
you did. Okay. I just think that after Endgame, it means more.
But to me, I also, and this is just how I am, when I try and look at and review movies and think about movies, I have to think about it in the moment. Like when I was watching all those movies, I tried to look at it as, okay, put as much of my own personal previous opinion out of my mind. I've never seen this. What does this movie stand for? And what does it mean to me? And when I look at her death, yes, they did a lot to try and recontextualize it later. But in that moment, you're supposed to care about a character who has been a non-existent character for 1.5 movies.
Can I ask you a philosophical question? Have you ever tried doing it the other way? Like, let all of your preconceived notions in, especially when you're rewatching something. I'm not talking about when you watch.
Yes. When I'm rewatching something casually, I'm not thinking about it. But I don't think Thor: The Dark World is a good enough movie that I ever will rewatch it casually.
Yeah, Because the reason I'm not doing soundbite because I think this is an interesting conversation. What I think you're saying is I completely agree with you with what you're saying when it comes to like a first like watch around. Check your expectations at the door. Check like your other like movies at the door. You're coming in to see a movie. I just think that after the fact, like because that's why I think so many people that hated the prequels back in the day are growing back to loving them because they're taking all that baggage that they had. Like originally, they're taking all like okay, we're seeing a new Star Wars. This is it. And they're seeing what we have as a whole now and seeing what we've gotten after that. Because this is one of those things, like even today, like just watching two movies that were completely unrelated to each other. We watched Antebellum and then we watched the Enola Holmes. Those two movies, I wasn't really liking Antebellum when I was watching it. But then after I watched Enola Holmes, I was like, okay, Antebellum was really good. So I find this funny things.
I guess that's just me personally, because I've also seen all 4 Norm of the North movies. So if I want to recontextualize any film against those and say, well, this is better than that, so it's better, then it's like, I went and fucking saw Arctic Dogs in theaters last year. I've seen a lot of shit.
You shouldn't be doing that.
I that's a personal thing. I like doing it because to me, I'll see something I know is going to suck because it makes me appreciate the good things more. I mean the legitimately, like, I'm not going to take like a 4 out of 10 and a 3 out of 10 and go, well, the 4 was better. Technically, yeah, but it's still sucks.
I want to go to Devin and Maddie. Devin, Maddie, what do you guys have to say? You've had me, Matt, and Aaron have been talking a lot. Devin and Maddie, I want you two to have a conversation. Devin wanted to talk to you. I know he wanted to see if you had connections with that thing that you did tonight. He wants to do it.
Oh,
okay.
We're doing it next week, but you said that you wanted to actually be on it.
Well, what they do is they put out, you reach out to their Dark Hills.
Oh, we'll talk to them next week, so he can just ask them himself.
So I want to go back to what you were saying though about Thor: The Dark World. I think there are good parts about it. It's probably the lowest of my MCU films. There's parts of it I really do enjoy because I love the whole Loki when he's down in the cell, the kind of especially just like Chris was saying, you know, like when he genuinely finds out. So I like the fact we got to explore Asgard more because, you know, even in the original Thor, it's really limited on what you saw.
Lady Sif is good.
First Thor is like it's probably the most underrated MCU movie. Either that or maybe Ant-Man. Like the first.
Lots of ducking.
Oh, I was gonna say if you want to hear an unorthodox ranking, I can read my 23 MCU films because trust me,
let's say that for another night because that could take too long. We were gonna do a short, quick, streamlined show tonight.
You want to know another day? Underrated?
I can just run the movies off. And
you could do this all day, but I can't.
No, I'm not saying you have to critique me. I'm literally saying I can run the movies off, and you can go, "What the fuck?"
That's fine.
Right. So just to contextualize what I'm saying, first off, Chris, no one held me hostage. I did it by choice. And second, here's what I will say about Dark World. To me, it is the worst of the MCU. I gave it a 5 out of 10. I think it is literally 50-50. My issue is, to me, the way they wrote the script.
Oh, good for you.
Not for me personally, but I think most of them are great. So it falls lower, but it's like, to me, it's like I think the performances are there, but the way they write it in the script doesn't make me feel. So yes, Tom Hiddleston in performance does a good job of portraying his pain, but the filmmakers themselves had 1.5 movies to make me care about Frigga, and they did nothing with her up until right before her death. So outside of the fact that Hemsworth and Hiddleston are giving good performances in their reaction, and Hopkins is phoning it in all the way, I don't care because they didn't make me care.
In this one. You know, like at least he doesn't go dude.
The period. From Alex, the best part of the Dark World is when Loki is hiding his true feelings about the death of Frigga. The reveal of the destruction is so powerful.
No, I agree.
And again, I will say, and that's what I'll say. The best part about the Dark World is the performances, especially on Hemsworth and Hiddleston.
Pretty much Loki. Yeah. But I watch it even now because when that came out, like I even thought like that's boring. But now after Endgame, I think that Frigga is like one of those underrated characters, and I'm glad that looking back at it that Endgame took, because that's one of those things. After Infinity War, I think every single person in the world, well, not every person. Some people think the Incredible Hulk is worse, but I think everybody would have like said like as a consensus that the fan base. Maybe not Matt, but the fan base, the consensus, the average would be that the Dark World is the worst. But then one of the things I loved about Endgame was how it made me feel differently about a movie that wasn't as good and made me want to revisit it. So, I mean, Thor: The Dark World, we kind of said all that we can say about it.
If we're going to talk about quality, Dark World is technically like bottom 2. I think Iron Man 2 is technically worse, even though there's some great scenes in Iron Man 2.
Cool. Yeah.
And I forgot, when we're talking about underrated, this bad boy is the most underrated MCU movie because everybody
Isn't that a video game? No. Hold it up again.
It's My Incredible Hulk.
Oh, I thought it was a GameCube game. Like I thought that was like the Incredible Hulk GameCube game.
But yeah, that's probably the most underrated because every list I see, it's like bottom 3, and I'm like,
it is
crazy.
It's because of Edward Norton.
Yeah,
by the time
Edward Norton's awesome.
The deepfake technology. Okay, here's what I'm saying about the deepfake technology. In 20 years, if you can like deepfake anything so that it looks like it was filmed that way, and people deepfake that with Mark Ruffalo, people will like that movie better. I guarantee.
If I have the technology to do really good deepfake where it won't look fake, I'm deepfaking Edward Norton to the Avengers. All the Avengers movies.
No, that's fine.
I can't stand Mark
It's what I was saying about like past tense context. When that first came out, if people are watching it like Aaron, they can rank it like without bias, without future tense. But people aren't like that. A lot of people aren't wired like that. They see somebody they know and they're like, "Oh, Mark Ruffalo, he's the better Hulk."
Yeah, I thought Mark Ruffalo was good in the first Avengers.
Mark Ruffalo.
Can't stand him in the other Avengers movies.
I don't think he's great in Ragnarok or Infinity War.
Yeah, I thought he was awful in Ragnarok. I'm sorry, he was horrible.
I think Hulk was good in Ragnarok.
I like the Hulk stuff, but when you got to Mark Ruffalo, it was god awful. And then it continued in Infinity War.
I was gonna say, Devin looks like he wants to scream.
He wants to say something, and that's a rarity.
So in one of the movies, I think it was Avengers, Banner mentions having tried to kill himself, but it not working.
I don't even scene from Incredible Hulk with everything.
Whatever. Anyway, there was a theory that I heard where the Edward Norton one did try, took a gun and like blew his face off, and the healing factor pulled back, and the best it could come up with was Mark Ruffalo.
Wow.
Oh, that would make a lot more sense, especially
if they said that.
His ethnicity and skin tone, people. Come on.
It's like you go from, like Incredible Hulk to Avengers, and if people who, let's say, in 5 years, people who have never seen any of the MCU movies start watching the MCU movies because they see a trailer for Iron Man 55 or whatever, so they put it on, and they're like, wait, that Hulk is different than the Hulk I remember. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, maybe somebody can add that scene in. It would make sense. It would add.
Yeah. I was gonna say just for content, if you guys, unless you guys want to bring up another news story, I was gonna say, do you guys want me to, just because I just came up with it, do you guys want me to run down my rankings real quick? Don't interrupt me.
Absolutely not.
Hold on.
We don't want to hear that. That would take.
It does not take all night for me to read. Fuck off.
Well, then fucking do it.
I was going to say, don't interrupt me with it, but think of one or two movies you want to rail into or praise me for in my ranking. That's what I was going to say.
Go from bottom to top.
Okay, so from 23 to 21. All right, 23 Thor: The Dark World, 22 Captain Marvel, 21 Thor, 20 Iron Man 2, 19 Thor Ragnarok, 18 The Incredible Hulk, 17 Captain America: The First Avenger, 16 Ant-Man and the Wasp, 15 The Avengers, 14 Doctor Strange, 13 Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 12 Age of Ultron, 12 Guardians of the 11, Guardians of the Galaxy, 10 Homecoming, 9 Iron Man 3, 8 Far From Home, 7 Infinity War, 6 Black Panther, 5 Ant-Man, 4 Civil War, 3 Iron Man, 2 Endgame, 1 Winter Soldier.
I appreciate your efficiency. The reason I said no initially is because I thought you were going to explain each one.
No.
That's going to take all night. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Just run through the list.
That's
yeah,
why.
but somebody saying they're going to run through the list can also mean that they're going to explain everyone. I've heard people say
That's why I said I can bullet through it, and then if every one of you have like one you want to grill me on, I can explain myself quickly.
I don't even remember.
I highly disagree with Captain Marvel being that low. I mean, I don't think it's the best, but like it's like middle of the road, I think.
I'd say it's middle of the road. It's lower half, like it's middle, but it's lower middle for me.
For me, for me, a lot of those smaller, lower films, probably the first like 4 or 5, it's very 50-50 for me. It all just comes down to entertainment value. For me, I thought Captain Marvel only kicked in entertainment-wise about halfway through. I think a lot of the space stuff is very boring. My top 5.
What were your top 5 again? Yeah, just your top 5. I want to hear that.
5 Ant-Man, 4 Civil War, 3 Iron Man, 2 Endgame, 1 Winter Soldier.
And those aren't bad. That's not a bad.
6 was Black Panther.
3 of those are in most people's like top 5.
6 was Black Panther and 7 was Infinity War, which I think are a lot of the other ones that will be up.
I'm okay with you ranking Infinity War. It is, especially after hearing your approach, because if you're just watching Infinity War as a standalone movie, it's not great. If you're watching Infinity War as part 1 of Endgame, it's fantastic.
I did watch it like that because I knew it was a part 1. My issues with Infinity War are actually on a filmmaking level. I think it has some weird pacing issues at points, and I think some of the CG is really atrocious at times. And it takes me out.
Yeah. And I hate the nanotech. I like that's just one thing that I'll say overall with Marvel. Get away from nanotech. It doesn't look good. It's not cool. It was so.
What was that? I missed Alex's comment
about the Iron Man armor in the first, like up until Avengers, even in Iron Man 3, and a little bit in Captain America: Civil War. The last good Iron Man armor that I liked was the one where he sticks his finger in the helicopter and then it assembles around him. Because after that, the nanotech, I just think it looks terrible.
Okay, here, I'll address this one because he put it in the comics. Iron Man 3 in top 10 over Guardians.
Again, the way he views movies. He's viewing it as a standalone piece. I understand.
And that's exactly it. I am personally, I like Shane Black's writing and directing. I also really, really love The Nice Guys, which I just rewatched recently. For me,
Nice Guys is good.
I'm not a comics fan. Like I wasn't a big comics guy before I started watching these movies. So the way that I look at Iron Man 3 is I understand why people don't like Iron Man 3. Because when I look at the fact that this is a comic story that's taking 2 or 3 different stories and it's bastardizing all of them and it's mixing them into one, and I totally get it. But as my own personal love for the film, I love it. I think it's incredibly entertaining. I think it's one of his best performances. I think he pulls off the PTSD stuff really well. I like seeing him engage and have to fight and think without the armor around him. I love the scene where they blow up the house. I think the final action scene's really creative. And one of the criticisms that I've always seen against the film, which I actually think almost coincidentally worked out because of the way they played it, is one of the biggest criticisms I've seen with it not tying into the MCU is the fact that the film ends with him blowing up all the suits.
And they were still trying to figure things out then too.
And then immediately in Age of Ultron, he's back in. Now, I realized the reason that she was not in the films was because of something to do with her contract or personal stuff or whatever. But I actually think the fact that they used her not being there to create a rift between him and Pepper, which immediately follows him giving up Iron Man for her and then immediately going back to it, and then them making it a point in Infinity War and Endgame, I actually think it ties in more than people give it credit for. So it's just not so direct if you don't remember it.
But that's a future movie. So what I really like about your perspective of that is that you're viewing it as like a standalone movie. That's why it's in your top 10. my perspective of that is when it came out, I was pissed because of the Mandarin thing, like everybody else. I was like,
Trevor?
what? Yeah.
Oh, see, I
so
love Kingsley.
yeah.
I love that.
I like
love
it now.
Yeah, I really
See,
like
see, I like it now. My problem with it is my only problem with it lies with that everything he was doing at the beginning of the movie was Joker, Heath Ledger level stuff with the Mandarin. So that was where my disappointment lies. That disappointment was shifted into, oh, okay, I get it now. We're gonna have the real Mandarin in Shang-Chi next year. I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with it because he's not the real Mandarin. That's not the iconic Iron Man villain. And that's another reason why I think we are going to see Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man again, because we have not seen Iron Man fight the Mandarin.
I hope we don't. But I will say this.
Yeah, like for me specifically, I love that scene where they do the flip because I think Kingsley was great as like threatening Mandarin. I love him even more as like drunk stumbling around. I love the little details of like even though Iron Man's berating him and he's watching the fucking Liverpool game in the background, like, when they score. I love it. It's so.
I'll say this about Iron Man 3. So after the twist, it did go down a little bit, but not like going to like towards the bottom of the list. If Iron Man 3 would have been like as good as that first half to the twist, which I really enjoyed the twist as well. If it would have continued, I honestly could have seen that being the best MCU movie.
That airplane sequence is iconic too.
Awesome.
We haven't even talked about that. The airplane sequence is iconic. Like if you're watching like The Boys, again, I bring up The Boys, Amazon The Boys.
Yeah. It was great.
If you're watching that, like that airplane sequence makes you like question like everything that goes on that show, because like that's kind of there's an airplane scene. But even if you can't save the plane, you can save the people. The barrel of monkeys strategy. I just love that. That is so creative. Okay. And the fact that he's not in the suit doesn't bother me, because that's one of those gags that I think works.
Yeah.
All right.
Where we stand up
with the barrel of monkeys thing. Remember, in the when Iron Man did it, he electrified the people so that they would not let the fuck go.
No,
with the barrel of monkeys in The Boys, there was a plane of 200 people, maybe more. That is beyond the strength of.
I always thought he said that if I electrocute your arm, you won't be able to. You won't be able to.
As an excuse.
Yeah, I gotta watch that scene again, because Devin just. He's electrocuting their arms so that they can't.
Also, is he electrocuting in what? Is this there's electrocution in The Boys?
No, but that's the thing with the Iron Man thing. At the bottom, he like lets up right at the bottom. So he hits the brakes. He's not carrying them. He's falling with them, and then he hits the brakes before they go in the water.
Right. But no, I do. Like I said, Iron Man 3 is number 8 on my list, and I have my list already too, because I do it as the thing comes out.
It's your list. I don't have any sort of like qualms about it.
Like on it, actually, you know what? It's not number 8 anymore.
Now it's number 9.
No, it actually moved up after thinking about it more.
Up?
It's in my
moved up after you thought about it. I've had that experience.
Yeah,
before.
It's in my top 5.
To me, like I will actually agree with Matt. To me, I love the first 2/3 of the film. I still love the ending because I think the Barrel of Monkeys sequence is great, and I think the final fight is really well done. But it falls off a bit for me because once you get past that Trevor Slattery scene, there's really not a lot of story left in it. And I do agree. I forget which one of them it was, whether it was Chris or Alec that commented it earlier. I do think Guy Pearce starts to reach a little into overacting in that final scene.
Yeah,
I think he's great up until before that, but that final scene is a little. He's a little over. Yeah,
he's like, "You're my trope."
Yeah, looking at my list,
we can all agree on with. One thing I think we can all agree on with, and then I'll send it over to Maddie, is that I think that we can all agree that War Machine is so much cooler than Iron Patriot.
Yeah,
Maddie, what do you got?
I think so.
Okay, my turn. I actually really like Iron Man 3. Somebody who's seen PTSD firsthand. I would imagine, I love the actual acting that Robert Downey Jr. puts in it. I love the fact I don't
Thank
know
you,
who
Daddy
Daddy
Puff Puff. Sorry to cut you off, but that's great.
Yeah, I like the name. We might do it. We'll do it in a little bit if you guys are down for it.
Puff
Yeah.
Puff.
Yeah, we can play a game or two.
I forgot because the stream was actually put under the tag of Quiplash. so yeah, I didn't even think about that because I set it up for the for one of the other streams, and when I went to go edit, because you can put in tags and whatnot, I put Quiplash. I guess it never changed.
Sorry, Maddie, I cut you off with that. Go ahead.
I really like Iron Man 3. I love all that. I think the twist is fine. I actually think it's kind of funny because we got that one shot where the real Mandarin looks at him and, they get to have that face-to-face moment. It goes back to the original where, he is captured by the 10 rings. So, parallels. I don't have it that high in my MCU films, but it's up there. What else?
I just like all of them. Can I just say that? I don't have to rank them. I just like watching all of them.
Devin, to answer your question, the way that the game tonight, the RPG was played, it was he used a gumshoe system, which is basically, if you don't know what that is, it is the gumshoe system is designed around the idea that the investigative scenarios are difficult to run in most role-playing game systems, which is fair. The problem is identified as an important clues being missed due to fall dice, resulting in a great game grinding to halt. The way he did it is the game wasn't about finding the clues; it was how we interpreted them. So we rolled, but it wasn't a guarantee. That wasn't a common thing. Was to roll. So SSA Maddie was from the Hannibal Lecter universe Dungeons and Dragons game I played, or like role playing game I played earlier.
There you go. Now, real quick, so I don't have to fly through my entire list. You want to hear my controversial things?
No.
So like my controversial things, for one, some might consider it controversial. Iron Man 3 is number 5. Love it. And then we got Thor is my number 10. Incredible Hulk is after that at 11. Civil War is in my top 10. Black Panther is number 14 on my list.
Wow.
Captain Marvel 16, which to some people is super controversial because they don't like Brie Larson or whatever. And then the last one, Thor Ragnarok, is number 21.
To be fair,
off of enjoyment.
On the base of Captain Marvel, can I just say, for anyone who dislikes the film because you don't like Brie Larson for whatever weird personal reason, I just
that is what it is.
Whatever. She is nowhere near the worst performance in that film. Can I just say, Jude Law has never been more boring in a movie. Holy shit, they took all his personality from him.
Have you seen the deleted scenes?
Have I seen the deleted scenes?
There's a deleted scene where, okay, so this may be a spoiler. If you want to put the spoiler tag up, this is a spoiler for a deleted scene. So you know how there's in the movie they say, who do you look on when you see the Supreme Intelligence? It's sacred. So I think this adds an interesting layer to that character. Jude Law, when he looks upon the Supreme Intelligence, he sees himself. Yeah. So I think that's something they should have put in the movie because I think it adds an interesting layer to it, that this guy is so much of a narcissist that he thinks he can do what the accusers can't do. He thinks he can do what the Supreme Intelligence can't do. He thinks he is the Supreme Kree. So I think that's something that they adds an interesting layer to his character. I think that they botched it in the editing bit.
That one scene, I think it may have added a little extra depth to his character mentality. I just think his and to me, it's a recurring thing. It's one of the reasons why Captain Marvel ranks so low. Anytime those directors have to direct something funny or comedic or natural feeling, I think it works. Anytime they're bringing a dramatic element, it doesn't work. And like we see flip-flops, right? I think Brie Larson, when interacting with someone like Jude Law or Annette Bening in certain scenes in a more dramatic sense, doesn't work. But when she's interacting with like Nick Fury on the farm or Maria Rambeau, that's
Maria Rambeau,
works,
that chemistry just clicks. Yeah.
Right.
Another one, I think. Oh fuck me, what's his name? Ben Mendelsohn.
I wish he was a villain. I wish they went straight up villain with Ben.
When he was straight up villain, I thought he was boring. It's a great pussy. When he switched and had the comedic flair, I thought he immediately got better. Like I don't know what it is. I just don't think they can. I don't think to me, a lot of the issues with that film was botched on directing. I don't think Getting's great either, but I think the directors botched it. I just
maybe
think
because there were two directors.
They weren't ready to handle that type of film because all they'd ever really made before was comedy.
Yeah.
All right. So are we playing Quiplash?
Bear's setting it up.
All right.
All right,
No,
I
I was just asking because if it's something we're doing,
I had the thing set up for a little while now.
So you want to?
Yeah, I'll put the code in a second if you guys want to play.
No, I just can't sit down.
While Beard's finishing setting it up, I can throw out one last quick story. There's nothing story like here, but while doing an interview for an upcoming film, Julianne Moore was asked about had she been asked for any involvement in the upcoming Jurassic World sequel Dominion because they were bringing back a lot of previous actors. While she said no, I've never been reached out to reprise my role. I would be open and interested should they ever see the need to bring my character back. Anyone interested in seeing her come back? Anyone even remember her?
Not really. I would rather see Vince Vaughn come back because we don't really know what happened to that character.
True.
Yeah. But that's one of those things. If you remember The Lost World, Vince Vaughn's a major character in that movie. And then the third act of the movie, Vince Vaughn's gone. Where'd he go? They don't tell us. She's gone. So there's a raptor running, or there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex running around San Diego. Yeah. And Vince Vaughn, who was really good at evading dinosaurs, has left the movie. It's just Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore. So that's why, I don't really care about Julianne Moore. I like Julianne Moore. But I'd rather see Vince Vaughn come back because we know what happened to Julianne Moore. We don't know what happened to Vince Vaughn. Where is Vince Vaughn?
I don't know. But I saw a trailer recently that featured Vince Vaughn as one of the actors.
There you go.
Oh, are you talking about that movie on Hulu?
What?
You said something about Vince Vaughn as an actor, right?
Some kind of Blumhouse thing.
Blumhouse. Your house is in Bloom.
I know he had a film on Hulu come out. I don't know if it was produced by Blumhouse.
I don't know, but he was in True Detective season 2, and everybody hates that. So
did somebody send me the
whoever
Jackbox?
It's in the private chat.
No, not that code. I need the actual link. For some reason, my computer's being.
It's just
the Jackbox.
Jackbox.tv.
It says for the next game to start. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the goddamn.
You didn't enter it in time.
Hold on.
To be fair, Alec, no one said she needs to come back. I think she just said she'd be open to the paycheck. There's a reason they haven't reached out to her.
Every actor would take any job if they pay enough. That's how it works.
True.
There it goes.
And that's why Robert Downey Jr. is coming back.
Okay, so
Devin just said
here's what our thing should look like. Oh wait, no, not Jack Off, not TV.
Jesus, Maddie.
Just Jackbox.
Her best role was on 30 Rock.
So we got 2, 3. Yeah, everybody should be on them.
Her best role is on 30 Rock. She played one of Alec Baldwin's love interests, but he left her for Elizabeth Banks, who was also pretty awesome on that show.
Okay. I'm going to get this rolling.
Are you sure her best
Julianne Moore and Elizabeth Banks, 2 women I would marry. What was that, Aaron?
You sure it was one of her many award-winning roles?
It's like Freaky Friday, but
I don't agree.
Freakier.
Farts.
It was 30 Rock. I think she was nominated for an Emmy.
So, guys, the everybody watching, the room code is in the top corner if you want to play along.
Oh God,
Yeah, for anyone who wants to hop in and vote.
True.
God, have you been playing hide and seek this whole time? Because I can't find you. My mother wants me to find God, but I think he's hiding.
Sorry.
If I haven't found God by now, he doesn't want to be found. That's
was the
what I'm
name from the last game I played with friends.
Oh,
You have friends. No, I'm kidding. I don't have friends.
Why do you think I wasn't here last week and was living life instead?
My only friends are you people.
I'm kidding. Actually, I'm kind of sad I missed last week. I watched a bit of the show. It seems like he was a great guy.
I think I'm gonna have the same answer as somebody for one of these.
It would tell you.
Oh, it does? Well, I got it in first. I was pretty quick to typing that time. Speaking of Vince Vaughn, I like Vince Vaughn.
Oh, this is what you're thinking of for Blumhouse, the Freaky trailer. Yeah, Vince Vaughn plays a serial killer who gets body switched.
Oh my God, that sounds hilarious.
Oh, it gets better.
That sounds so hilarious. What did you say, Aaron? You had me at Vince Vaughn cereal.
So Vince Vaughn plays a serial killer who, through some magical thing, gets body switched with a teenage girl. The trailer blew up.
Oh, I hate it.
The
Is
trailer
he fat
blew
chicking
up.
it?
Oh no, it's fucking
Oh
amazing.
no, I'm sorry, not fat chicken, hot chicken it.
Basically, yeah.
I have a problem.
The trailer blew up on the internet because there is a line in the trailer where it's two of the people running from him, and it's one of the characters has a line where it's like, "I'm gay and you're black. We're definitely dead."
That's why I hate. I don't really like Jack Black in the first Jumanji movie because he's just hot chicken it the whole time.
It's
A birthday
not
present you shouldn't get for your. Oh no, he's not hot chicking it. He's playing it like serial killer.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Electric dildo.
you wouldn't get for your grandmother.
What do you mean electric? Does it shock you or does it vibrate?
Vibrating like bzzz.
Are you sure it doesn't shock you? Because they have ones that shock you too.
you would know.
I would know. I'm very lonely.
Makes it tingle.
Yes, Chris, that is correct. It is by the same people who made Happy Death Day, which includes the Blumhouse production.
That's exactly what. Which one is it? Electric
Rocket.
or is it shocking? Alec, tell me, electric or shocking?
I think I know who one of these are.
Or in Orlando, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Right, Matt?
Yeah.
I don't know what one of those things means. So
Matt, did you ride Rip Red Rocket when you were
I
here?
know it's a sex thing.
No, I didn't get to go to. I didn't get to go to that park.
Oh, it's a fucking treat, man.
What does all right? What does FUTA mean, guys?
I'm going next year. I'm gonna ride it.
FUTA. What does this word mean?
Futa? I don't know.
Fuda.
Devin, what does it mean? He knows.
I wouldn't trust it.
Say.
This one knows. Say it. Will you tell me after the show?
You should never put in an open wound a finger.
Out of a hole.
All
All sweat.
In
I
particular.
don't like either of those answers.
Well, they're both pretty good answers for something you shouldn't put in an open one.
Yeah, I mean, you get an infection either way.
Well, then you should have said something infectious. Ball sweat and butthole stuff. I mean, as long as it's your own, it's not going to infect you.
Nom, nom, nom.
You can't get an infection from your own germs.
Best name
No,
for
you
an
can't.
actor.
Fat
That's
Joe.
true. You can't get an infection from your own germs.
Busted.
It says best name.
Yes.
One of those is real.
And he's not even fat anymore. Fat Joe lost the weight.
He's not fat anymore?
No, he lost the weight.
And I agree with Chris.
Yeah, they're underrated. They're surprisingly good.
Who?
The Happy Death Day films.
Why did
Like,
Fat Joe get any love?
I would actually want to see the third one.
I just wish they would do it with somebody else.
It's the
No.
first thing you do after winning the
All the
lottery.
money naked. Automatic.
Naked.
Who didn't answer?
I don't know.
Lil Puppet.
Little puff.
If you're going to join, you have to answer or you ruin the game.
I think it's only us five here, so it's one of us.
One of you ruined the game.
It was the pink one.
Little putt.
Who still did better than one of the others. By the
Little
way.
pop, you ruined the game.
Thanks.
If you don't play a little Puff Puff, I'm gonna find you. So fucking quiet, guys. You're so serious.
Sorry,
Fuck yourself.
I'm
It
like,
just gets so intense.
okay, so without getting into spoilers, because I saw Alec commented, the second one is I actually liked it more because it kind of gets self-referential with the trope of like a sequel repeating itself, and it also brings a lot more of a time travel sci-fi element into it.
Very meta.
Time travel.
I know it sounds weird, but it's very meta. Like it's
It
very
is.
self-aware.
What
Like
is time
you know
loop?
what this shit's going on. All right, there's two of you bitches who haven't answered. Hurry up.
I'm coming up.
Answer, fuck.
So it's Devin and Max. They're still typing.
You don't answer, then you're
Puff,
ruining the
puff,
game.
puff, puff, not putt, putt. My bad.
Yeah, Happy Death Day 2. It's very meta.
It is.
But I love it.
Like the best praise I can give it is I saw the first one and liked it and thought it was good, but didn't care if it got a sequel. I saw the
Diaz
second
got
one and
emotional during
wanted to
Happy
see the
Death
third
Day 2. Interesting. Oh, fuck you.
one. The Brer Rabbit.
Oh, it is actually a good name.
Good lord.
If people actually want to have sex with something named that bodes well for me.
Brer Rabbit.
Nicki Minaj is spelled with an I.
Okay, who's taking the ripped out animatronic of Splash Mountain, guys? Come on.
Zippity-doo-dah.
Zippity day.
You guys suck.
My oh my, what a
You didn't pick me.
wonderful
You
thing.
didn't pick me.
that first in line at your inauguration.
I don't.
Alec, electric still doesn't imply. Does it vibrate or does it shock you? I need to know.
Why are we still on this?
Because I read it. It said electric LOL. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it vibrating or does it shock you?
It vibrates. It
Are you
tickles-
sure?
Yeah, it's supposed to tickle you.
But they make
That's a
some that
shocking
shock you
conclusion.
too.
Nah,
Okay,
it's
then
not
you're
that.
into some weird backroom of Spencer shit if that's what you're going.
No, I'm not.
That's some BDSM.
You ever play the Uncle Fester game like in arcades? You have to hold those things.
Thank you for letting me out.
Is that what he does to you?
Yeah. That's what Uncle Fester did to me.
Nikki, do we need to get you a doll so you can show us where he touched you?
No, but you can give me a doll for something else.
Yeah, Alec, that's what I'm saying. He's still stuck on it.
That door will file.
Because you haven't answered. It's vibrating, obviously. Okay, that wasn't obvious.
It really was obvious. Who do you
No, it
know?
wasn't.
Who do you know has a dildo that shocks you?
Nikki,
I'm not
needs-
going to say that. I'm not going to answer that because I don't want to kink shame.
An ill-advised outfit to wear on your first date when you show up.
But I will say this, Aaron. I know people who have one.
How do you have a wrong Chippendale outfit? Is there more than one?
So there was
Nikki, tell us about your mom.
actual chipmunks, and then there was the
Oh my
dancer.
god, you're right. That's brilliant. Is that you? Is that you, Puff Puff? That's brilliant.
Great job. You were the one that didn't vote. Shame on you, Dev. He didn't vote last time.
That was great. Okay.
All you have to do is push a button to vote. Come on.
God, talk about Rescue Ranger.
Stop being such a wise ass.
Vin Diesel's.
Vin Diesel.
You spelled Vin Diesel wrong.
Hose. Santa's got hose.
That's something wrong. It's probably you.
All it. Hold up. This is completely random, but did anyone hear Vin Diesel's song?
No, I want to.
I do not know about
Vin
this.
Diesel has a song that was released. It's actually
I'll pull
not
it
bad.
Are we going to get flagged for it?
It's like a pop
Probably.
song. We probably will get flagged, yes, but it's like a pop
Is-
song with like a real producer. It's really
I
weird. but
hope
it's not
so.
bad.
Is it as good as the Joe Pesci rap stuff?
Oh no.
Is it better than Paris Hilton's music career?
Yes. Yes.
Hello, guys. Welcome to my show.
Yeah, stars are blind.
And I
Stars. She had a
say
movie career too. How's the wax?
I say this legitimately. I actually like Jeremy Renner's music.
I do too. Did you hear that song he's saying about
Special message
Hawkeye?
from our friend Vin Diesel,
That
who
one I
actually has a
did.
new single dropping today. Check
We
this
not
out.
get copyrighted, guys.
It's okay.
We might.
I'll fix it.
How would you fix the economy?
It'll get better. You'll see. It's not a long song.
Debut. The first
This video is 2 minutes and 18 seconds, and the song is
I don't think that's the whole song then, because it's a full song.
yeah. Oh, this beat is hot. Look at all these women that are dancing to it. And that one fat guy. You didn't see what I was seeing. You didn't see what I was seeing.
2, 1, guys, come on. How'd you know?
I didn't get it in time.
That's what
I
she
literally had like 2 letters to put in.
Guys, I was playing up the Vin Diesel song. I did not know we were still
said.
going.
Purge election year.
Ah,
One of these they already did. Both of these. Wait.
When you
There-
said, how do you fix the economy? I thought you were talking about the Vin Diesel song.
I was
I
going to
said,
say
I'll
make
do it.
prostitution legal
things
in
were
all
already
50
done.
states, and I got to states, and I forgot to put the ES.
Prostitution is the best answer.
Make it legal.
I mean,
That's going to fix it.
I've got money sometimes.
You know how many 40-year-old guys who go out to Vegas would take advantage of that, but they go other places, not just Vegas, but like Chicago?
Yeah, like Bangkok. They don't call it Bangkok.
Oh,
No.
God.
All right.
Everybody's going to get the same.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be weirdly split.
Devin didn't think I knew where Thailand was.
So is this one like going to blow up? Yeah.
I mean, it's legal where we are. Pornhub is free.
Yeah, Pornhub
How would
is-
that fix the economy?
well, the good
Right,
stuff
that's
you
right.
have to pay for. The good stuff you have to pay for.
I got my wish.
I don't think that's
Premium
true.
was made free.
I don't think that's true. No, and that's not true either. Neither of those statements
Well,
are
it's
true.
an ad.
Pornhub Premium is not free, and you don't need the premium to see the good stuff.
Those
Okay, so
bastards.
what we know is Nikki has perverse Pornhub.
I just go to different sites.
Can I get the
I-
only
I have
Quiplash
everything.
Nikki?
No.
no.
Matt's right. You torrent that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's okay to torrent porn, people.
Yeah.
Maddie, can
If
you
you're
double
mad.
check Nikki's
Pornhub,
hard
it's
drive?
private.
If you're of age.
Torrented on it.
Do what?
Double check Nikki's hard drive while you have it and see what porn he's torrented on it.
No,
Yeah.
please don't do that.
Just while your son's in bed. Let's not scar him too early.
True.
Please don't do that.
So, you guys want to play another?
Yeah, we'll play one more.
Yeah, I'm down. The good,
And to sit back and relax. That's a
good stuff
contradiction.
is behind a paywall. It gets better than what you get for free.
That's what she said.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I live. Matt's seen the OBT. They say that shit down here.
What's OBT?
OBT. It's a highway
One Blossom Trail.
that goes right
Oh.
through
I
downtown.
thought it was
area,
a sex thing.
all the brothels you can want on it. Like
Mhm.
Oh, it is a sex thing.
it is. Yeah, it's a highway for sex. It's like known down here, man. That's where you go. If you're a high
Can you pick me up and bring me there?
well, that would mean I'd have to drive to Boston to get you. So if you want to fly down here, we can figure that out. The whole airport's not
I
far
can't
from
do that. Wow, you guys are so fucking serious.
Fuck your
I
mom.
did that
We have
every
a
week.
time limit.
But it's like you're so like
Wait, what's that movie with Tom Cruise and whatever her face is?
Eyes
that,
Wide
Eyes wide shut.
okay,
Nicole Kidman,
that's what I thought.
Ashton Kutcher.
Is he in it?
Oh,
I just was trying to get a laugh out of Aaron, and I did it.
Kutcher's
I
not
did it.
shut.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tock, tock.
Can I just say I'm disappointed that app didn't get banned? I'm so sick of TikTok.
Me too. Fuck you, TikTok people.
There's some good stuff on there.
The worst
You know what?
thing-
Tutorials. If they're tutorials, they're good. I like it when things are quick. Like when it's quickly teaching me
They're
something.
both bad.
All right,
I
so
don't know what Eyes Wide Shut is.
you guys both went. It's a sex cult.
Okay, I have a problem with the Netflix cuties thing. I have a very hot take on that.
That it's not what everyone thinks it is.
No, I think the criticism that movie's getting is toxic.
I don't.
I think because here's the thing: I don't think anybody that's criticizing it has actually seen the movie.
What people are criticizing is because of Netflix's poor marketing. It's not because of what the movie is.
I
No,
mean,
no, I
there is
agree
a
with the
12-year-old
market.
girl that shows her breast on a screen, but you know.
Okay.
whatever.
That's not something I want to see. But the
It's bad.
reason why I think it's toxic is because if there is a 12-year-old girl out there that sees that and relates to that, and then hears all the backlash that movie is getting, that 12-year-old girl is then going to be ashamed of her sexuality because of the backlash a movie like that got. So you got to
Oh.
think of cause and effect when it comes to this thing. I don't agree with the movie. I don't watch the movie. I don't really care. But when people are like commenting on it just based on a poster, I think it's just one of those things. But
No,
like,
From a
it's a-
I
cave.
think not everybody, but I think a lot of people have
I
a
don't think you
valid
should show
reason
12-year-olds
to
boobs on movies.
things like that.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
think most 12-year-olds actually have boobs.
Well, bare chest.
You didn't see me when I was 12, Aaron.
Alec, I'll look it up. But can you put the gist of it in the comment section? Like, is
It's
it
basically what
positive
Nikki
or
said.
negative?
It's basically exactly what Nikki said about people taking out of context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's my problem. Is Netflix has admitted that they poorly mismarketed that film for what it is. I also haven't seen it, but I've at least done more extensive research into what its story is and where the director's coming from and what it's actually about.
It's about themselves. Like apparently
Right.
the director was writing it from their own perspective, which
And
is
so-
why I think the backlash on it is so like bad because this is this person's personal story. She tells her
Mhm.
personal story and then gets all this hate for it. All anybody who has like some sort of story to tell that's somewhat similar to it is going to feel shame for that because of how people reacted to it when if their story is similar to it, they didn't do anything wrong.
And
I
also,
think
a point
not
to-
everybody.
It's also French. It is a French movie. It is a foreign film. So-
Wasn't it dubbed?
I don't like
Yeah.
seeing naked people in movies in general, though. So
Just
Yeah, and
knowing
that's-
what's in it, I will never watch it because
Yeah, I
for
won't
me
watch it.
personally, I'm not gonna tell anybody to watch or not, and I'm not
See-
gonna say it's a pedophile movie or whatever because I don't necessarily agree. Because like you guys are saying, it's from her point of view of what she went through.
Yeah.
It's showing like what happens in that environment, and whatnot.
Exactly.
But
I think it's just a slippery slope to.
and that's
go
I think a lot of people actually are kind of on my side in the sense of they know it's not pedophilia, but they're going for and they know what they're going for. It's just the minority is very, very vocal about it. And I think
and they were
most
probably
people-
marketing towards people like that because they
Right.
knew it was a niche film.
Right. I just I just can't watch it because I mean I read the IMDb parent guide, which tells you everything that's in there. It's like, hey, this is in here, and then you go from there. So like,
Yeah.
and
I
then
wouldn't
just
watch a
skimming
movie like
through
that
it.
if it wasn't controversial.
Right. It's just there's a kid's butt revealed, and then the twerking stuff. It's just something I feel uncomfortable watching.
No,
But I understand why it was
I feel
made.
uncomfortable even talking about it.
Yeah, me too.
but yeah.
Can I just say I hate my questions for this round?
I hate this
That's
one
fine.
so much.
I even did I did something very hypocritical in this round, but I'm okay with it because I'm trying to win a game. That's what
Well,
politics is. People.
Nikki's name in this, we'll know who put it out.
I just think that people should, and this comes to everything. Before you reach a before you like share your opinion, consensus, yeah. Think about how that opinion is. Think about the worst way that opinion could affect somebody.
Right.
It's always a good thing to like just ask yourself.
Yeah. So okay. So this is what I would say. I'll pull this up. The idea of people, and I realize that there may be either a majority or a vocal minority, but people accusing something of being pedophilic without understanding it. So this is actually something that came up last week when I was with my friends, because we were searching through Netflix for something and it came up, and they immediately were like shitting on it. And then one of them, because I'm like the movie guy of the group, they were like, okay, you're the movie guy, you know all this indie shit, you probably actually know what this is. And when I explained to them what the director is going for in that, it's essentially, it's a movie that, yes,
Don't forget to vote, Aaron. Don't forget to vote.
One of these is mine. And in a movie that does show, yes, some odd content featuring younger individuals, but it's coming from the standpoint of basically this is the director's experience, and it's people, like younger people exploring their own kind of sexuality and growing up.
And how old are the actors is always a question you need to ask too.
True.
Because sometimes they'll be 23-year-olds playing 13-year-olds.
I don't think they were 23, but they were old enough that I assume they were old enough, and there was all the legal signatures, and they knew what they were doing.
I mean, they look like they're 10 years old. I think some of them were like 13.
Yeah, those were kids. Yeah.
I think, but I think in France or whatever, I think the laws and whatnot are different. Because they like with that stuff they do it
are younger than they are.
Wasn't like Call Me by Your Name, like wasn't that one like wasn't Timothy Chalamet like 16 in that movie or something?
No, he was like 20.
The character is younger.
Yeah,
the character was younger. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Timothy Chalamet is not underage. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but also consent ages in Europe are younger. A lot of the times they're between
different
like
wherever
16 and they get younger. Everything.
No wonder why people are so fucked up, because it depends on where you live, being what's okay and what's not. Like, I mean, this world is weird. Can we just say? I think that James Spader put it best. Sexuality is a paradox. It's absolutely absurd to think that any sexual act is normal.
Can I just say though, on the last one,
Good God.
Steve Buscemi was a great answer. Like, I cringed at hearing like his voice. It's just, I feel like if I listened to Bill Cosby reading 50 Shades, he would just in every.
She puts the pudding pop in the make a little thing, and then
come on, people vote. Stop it. Important to vote, not because of the presidential election.
Voted.
This stupid game.
The really cold.
Matt, your joke took away from people voting. I loved it, but people didn't vote. They were too busy laughing.
You're just mad because nobody voted for
I'm mad because there was not 100% vote on that. Nobody voted. There were 2 people that didn't vote, and I'm angry at that. I'm sad.
It would be scary to read it on a food package may contain trace elements of.
Oh God. Okay, done. That was an easy one. We all had something right in our head, just like as soon as we got done.
Don't complain about Quiplash if you don't.
Who's the one taking so long? Who's the little blue guy?
I have no idea. But now they're done.
Fuck you, little blue guy.
Jesus.
Colts suck. No.
Hey.
I like the Colts.
Pudding pops.
Okay.
Kevin Spacey, pudding pops.
No drippage.
God.
Fecal matter.
Now, here's the thing, though. There are also oranges named Cuties, and I wouldn't be mad at.
Oh, those are great. I love those.
Yeah.
And just suck on them. Yeah. You ever have cuties?
Sucking on the cuties? Oh no.
I have like ones that are. I have ones that are like in the they're like in juice. Like you open them up and they're oranges right there.
Sucking
good.
On the juice?
No, they're right there. The oranges.
He sucks on the pudding pop and then he puts the cuties in his mouth and sucks the
I have a
juice
Peyton
out.
Manning Colts jersey.
Nice.
I'm not
I have
ashamed
one
of
laying
that.
around somewhere.
Then again, I also have a Michael Vick Eagles jersey, so I'm not the most credible person on that.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
So,
Hold on.
I feel like
Hold
I
on.
need to explain myself. The reasoning for buying the Michael Vick jersey is because I think that punishment in the NFL is absurd. People can rape somebody and get a 4-game suspension, but if you dogfight, which is an animal version of the NFL, which I still wouldn't do, you get your career ruined. I just don't understand the parallel.
NFL
One
lately,
of them was white, so I guess that's okay.
The NFL's been more strict on that in the last 10 to 15 years for sure. As far as like
because
you can't do
because of
anything.
PR though, like it's the same thing. Like that was my biggest problem with Brady. I didn't have a problem that Brady got suspended. I had a problem that he had the same suspension that Brendan Roethlisberger had.
No, I mean, I think it all changed when the whole Ray Rice stuff happened. Like once that happened, like he was out of the league for pretty much good.
Why did things change? Did things change because the NFL wanted to be good people, or because the NFL realized that political correctness was going to win them the favor of the fans, so they did it for profit and not actually because they believed it was right?
I need to interrupt you guys for a second. Shout out to the people joining the chat. It's unfortunate that you guys are joining us when it's almost 1 a.m. for over half of us.
We gotta go to bed.
But thank you for showing up. It is much appreciated, Bruce Malcolm.
And if you want to hear Matt's takes on the NFL, join him on Inside the Horseshoe.
Yep, live.
Where he will have me at some point.
We did it live on Thursday.
Thursday, what time?
This past week we did at 5:30. So it's probably when we're gonna do it again.
Well, I would love to be on that show.
Yeah, if you want to come on. I mean, you definitely come on. Yeah,
I'd love it. I'm not the biggest NFL guy, but I like talking about the NFL.
Right. It's mostly predictions and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I predict they will play football next week.
Oh, well, even I can do that.
I think
But you didn't do it, Aaron. I did it first.
I think that would be a very wise thing to put money on.
Yeah, I did it.
Wise.
Guys, Nikki, Devin, where can people find y'all? Let's wrap this up.
Maybe tomorrow if we're doing Quiplash again or the other games. I don't really know. You can find us here next week on TMG After Dark. Devin, where can they find you? Okay.
On Steam on Tuesday, Headway 13.
I can't hear you with that pity dick in your mouth.
And Aaron, how about you?
You guys will not find me here tonight. Unfortunately, I will be working what's most likely the last night at my other shitty job that I'm doing. But yeah, I'll be back here next week unless something unfortunate and unforeseeable happens, in which we have a great guest that Maddie will plug as he closes out, I assume.
Yep.
How
about you?
You can find me here on the show, on this channel, exclusively, as I signed with myself a lifetime deal to be on this channel only. You can also find me on or anything TMG related. You can find me tomorrow, maybe on movie night, assuming I'm not like dead or whatever, because you never know. Inside the Horseshoe, I'm also on. And if you want to find me tonight, you can join me in my room. We're gonna watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in glorious 4K. We watch that together.
First time The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has been described as glorious.
We'll cuddle and watch it. Some chocolate-covered pretzels.
Matt, I'd actually like to do that because I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than The Amazing Spider-Man 1, but it's the end of the show and we don't have time to have that conversation.
True. And, yeah, maybe a little spoonage. So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you use a spoon to eat ice cream. That is true.
And then I'm Matty G. Tomorrow night we'll be back with Movie Mania. Thursday Suplex City chats. Probably between now and then we'll have a very live, quick special Suplex City. Wrapping up this weekend's Clash of Champions pay-per-view next Saturday. I don't know if we're gonna start early or not. That kind of depends on our guests. We're having the crew from Dark Hills Events. I will post their links to their YouTube and their Facebook groups. Go and check out their live role-playing game they do. Tonight we did something that happened in the Hannibal universe. I competed in it. Really fun. They're going to bring over one of their games to us. They're going to bring over one of their games. We'll be doing a live role playing. So check that out next week.
You care so much, don't you?
I want to close this out. Thank you guys for watching. As Maddie does his thing. And we got an outro now, baby, because I put it on our Streamlabs.